directly from the Creator, original people. We don't come from Africa, we don't come from Kemet, we don't come from none of that. Those are baby places. Those civilizations are young. When I say young, we talking about 6,000. Even if we give them benefit of the doubt, 10,000 years. But the planet's been here far longer than that. The original man has been on the planet so long that no one knows his record.
That's real.
We don't come from here. We come to here.
That's what I was going to say.
To straighten things out. And to go through situations to show forth and prove the greatness we are of a people. By having someone other than ourselves rule us and destroy us. And then we rise from the dead and come back into power. Only one can do that is the true and living God. And when I say God, I'm using the English word.
I'm glad you covered that too.
To describe the universal power that be. Because no matter where you go on Earth, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet, you find us. That one of color, of melanin. So I'm not caught up in no particulars. This is why we say original man. And we emphasize the O. Because the O or the zero is 360 degrees. Which means everything comes out of there. Even the one. The zero turned sideways shows you a straight line, which is the one. Yeah. They try to have you believe that the zero means nothing. But if it means nothing, why you want all zeros at the end of your bank account? You can't get 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, millions, billions, or trillions without them zeros. And we are zero.
I feel like zero represents all potential.
All that is and will ever be. And that which is not can never be. So we don't waste time in trying to find when did we start as a people. You can't find when we started as a people. Because time has only been kept and used as a tool.
Measurement, you're right.
For the past 76 quintillion years.
I don't even know how long that number is considering. I know it's a huge number though.
If we ask the weight of the planet Earth, which is 6 sextillion tons followed by a unit of 21 ciphers, 21 zeros.
6 sextillion tons followed by 21 zeros. That's the weight of the Earth.
Right.
Wow.
And the devil will show you the mathematical science of how to measure the weight of the Earth.
How would they do that? Measuring the atom, right? The weight of an atom. Ah, nice. Nice. I got that from reading some of Black Root Science. As above, so below. Atoms are just like star systems. The elements.
And the first atom, which came out of triple darkness, was propelled or pushed or set into motion by a thought.
Talk to the young G's on your motivate. What can you tell them brothers to keep it going?
Only thing I can tell you young brothers is understand your power. See, we know who wrote the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran. It was our ancestors. We don't believe in no spooks, and we don't deal with religion. We made that for others. But I want to specifically point out this. When the scriptures of the Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, I want y'all to always understand that words are mathematical equations. Witches and warlocks call them spells. They taught every one of y'all to spell when you were in elementary. So understand spells is like a word programming coming from word. What you say is what will manifest into the reality. You speak death, death will find you. You speak life, life will find you. You speak health, health will find you. You speak wealth, wealth will find you. You speak disdain, disdain will be your comfort. So remember your words. Your words are reality made manifest. So whatever you say, when you're making your beautiful poetry, don't do it just to speak because you got a hole in your face called a mouth. Remember that these words come from a dark matter. And darkness cannot be examined. That's why it's hated. We possess the ability to manifest dark matter in our pineal gland. That is responsible for all living matter. All organisms possess carbon. They call it melanin, but we understand it as carbon. That's why old fossils are carbon dated. Okay? Your words are older than the sun, moon, stars, planets, and anything you see here. So your words come from a hidden place in your thoughts that can't be examined. So when you speak words, understand the relationship that your words have with the reality. Every rapper you know that spoke death, did death not come and visit them?
That's right.
This is by no mystical chance. This is by the relationship of your thoughts and your words and the universe that responds to it. The universe must respond to you. If you're tired of being broke, you wake up and you use your words and say, I speak wealth at this very moment. And the universe must bend to your will.
Welcome to White History Month. White people, for decades we have all heard your cries during February for a much needed White History Month. So on this historic first day of White History Month, we honor a true Christian hero, Christopher Columbus. October 1492, Christopher Columbus, lost at sea, discovers the Americas, where the land had already been discovered by over 100,000 native Tainos that lived there for centuries. Columbus, being the skilled explorer that he was, thought he was in the Indies, but he was not in the Indies, and wrongly started referring to the native Tainos as Indians. After Columbus's first trip to the Caribbean, he later returned to Spain and left behind 39 men who went ahead and raped the Taino women. Upon his return, the men were all dead. With 1,200 more soldiers at his disposal, rape and pillaging became rampant, as well as tolerated by Columbus. Several accounts of cruelty and murder include Spaniards testing the sharpness of blades on native people by cutting them in half, beheading them in contests, and throwing natives into vats of boiling soap. There are also accounts of suckling infants being lifted from their mother's breasts by Spaniards, only to be dashed headfirst into large rocks. Bishop of Chiapas described these exploits. Such inhumanities and barbarism were committed in my sight, as no age can parallel, he wrote. My eyes have seen these acts so foreign to human nature that now I tremble as I write. Other accounts state there were butcher shops throughout the Caribbean where native bodies were sold as dog food. Live babies were also fed to war dogs as sport, sometimes in front of horrified parents. Because Columbus reported a plethora of native slaves and rivers of gold to Queen Isabella, Columbus had to deliver and was desperate to fulfill those promises. Columbus forced the natives to work in gold mines until exhaustion. Those who opposed were beheaded or had their ears or nose cut off. All persons over 14 had to supply large quantities of gold every 3 months. Those who did not fulfill their obligations had their hands cut off, which were tied around their necks while they bled to death. Some 10,000 natives died handless. In addition to putting the natives to work as slaves in gold mines, Columbus also sold sex slaves to his men, some as young as 9 years old. Columbus and his men also raided villages to rape and for sport. In only 2 years' time, approximately 250,000 natives in Haiti were dead. About 50,000 deaths included mass suicides or intentional poisonings, or mothers killing their babies to avoid persecution, to avoid being slaughtered or captured by Christians.
Yo te bautizaré y obtendrás la gloria y la paz eterna en el cielo. De lo contrario, sufrirás un tormento eterno en el infierno. ¿Me ha entendido bien?
Kichu cristianos shalom, man.
¿Van los cristianos al cielo? Los buenos cristianos, sí.
Oichis infierno, man.
Desprecio a vuestro Dios, desprecio vuestra codicia.
Because the Christian Europeans did not know about personal hygiene and bathing, the native savages had to teach them how to bathe. But regardless of the estimated 250,000 natives in Hispaniola, Columbus's first stop in the Americas in 1492, new infectious diseases wiped out a staggering 236,000 native people by 1517, nearly 95% of their population. It is estimated that the Christian Europeans introduced about 30 different diseases to the native people of the New World. Smallpox, measles, bubonic plague, typhus, cholera, scarlet fever, chickenpox, yellow fever, just to name a few. On this first day of White History Month, let us all reflect on the beautiful way that Christopher Columbus introduced Christianity to the Americas through forced colonization, pillaging, raping, pedophilia, enslavement, torture, murder, and diseasing of those savages, aka gentle people, as Christopher Columbus initially described the natives. And with that, I would love to wish everyone a happy White History Month. I hope you all enjoy your very special month. I know I will.
A Caucasian